slavery laid the ground for colonialism and ultimately apartheid. It undermined families and nations and introduced the damaging and false hierarchy of racial superiority and inferiority that continues to afflict mankind today. But even as we commemorate the transatlantic slave trade, we also, on the eastern side of the continent, recall the Indian Ocean slave trade that was just as ruinous. In parts of Asia and the Middle East today live many of Africa's descendants who in some instances continue to suffer the effects of slavery and its evil social and racial hierarchies. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, despite these generations of misfortunes, we are still here today, still striving to make up lost time and lost ground. The descendants of Africans who left in chains have today become an inspiration to their countries and the world. In leaders like Martin Luther King, they have produced a soaring moral and political leadership that has freed millions of the downtrodden and oppressed. Their learning, their artistry, and unique spirit of hope in the face of oppression uplifts and inspires humanity. They have been fellow travelers with Africans who fought for independence and development. The result of this common struggle is an Africa that is integrating and will be the great frontier of global economic growth and prosperity in the near future. For this upward surge to be sustained for generations to come, it demands that we be united. Every descendant of this continent has a role to play, and this aspiration is captured in the Constitutive Act of the African Union that invites and encourages the full, and I quote, the full participation of the African diaspora as an important part of our continent, end quote. The sixth region of the Union is the diaspora of peoples of African origin living outside our continent, irrespective of their citizenship and nationality today. This includes the descendants of Africa in the Caribbean and North and South America. We are one, and we must find paths to reconnect and re-engage with one another. As Africans, we also are a spiritual people whose communing with the ancestors makes history a living presence in our lives. We who are alive today are the descendants of our ancestors, but we are also the ancestors of those yet to be born. They will commune with us just like we can pray free, reach back to those who survived the Middle Passage. We need therefore to think like ancestors so that we can shape a bright future for our own descendants.